happening. I thank God for everything that's come to be today, because if it had to be chosen where this was going to happen, very likely we would have said it was going to happen in Africa. If we had to choose where we're going to be, have to shut down at home for the past how many months, they would have said, whoa, they ain't got no good leadership. Likely is that that's the set of people you have to worry about. But today, the story is different, because you cannot single out where it's going to hit next. Today, the rich, the mighty, the poor, and the downtrodden are on the same boat. Today, countries that call themselves G8 countries, and those that they refer to as the Black Continent, are on the same boat. Today, leadership in Africa that probably never felt one day they'll be stuck in their own country with no right or no access to health care anywhere else in the world, are stuck in their domain. So, this is happening for a reason. We don't want to join people who propagate all kinds of theories about who are the winners and who are the losers. But I'll let my guests discuss this issue and bring their own perspective on this show. Because if I have to push it the way I see it, the way I think it, it will still going to look biased. I'll still drive it though. But I want us to be interactive. I want us to air our opinion from our different corners of the globe. This show is streaming live on Facebook, streaming live on Twitter, streaming live on the T25CL platform, because we want to have a comprehensive interactive session with people of African descent, wherever you are. Whether you're in Africa, you're in America, you're in the Caribbean, you're in Europe, you're in China, we are all the same people. We are all confronted with the same issues. Everybody treats us the same way. So we are out here now saying it's time that we all get together. It's time we all find our differences. They've made us fight against each other for so long. And today, we can't keep doing that because we realize they're playing games on us. That's just the same way our great-grandfathers were being taken out of Africa for all kinds of jokes, all kinds of tricks on our great-grandparents. And today, they were all brought out here on very inhumane condition. That's not why we're here today. We've known all this history way back, but we're here to find a solution. We're not here to build up the same dead horse, the same issue of complaining why we are down, why we are being stressed out, why we are being oppressed, why we are being racially profiled. No, we know we are being treated that way. How do we come out of that situation is why we're here today. So I thank everybody for showing up today. For those that are logged on Facebook, on a regular T2L TV radio channel, I thank you guys for being part of the show. I've been off the air for a while, but I promise you guys, due to popular demand, I never knew I had a role to play, but now I confirm that this is a role I have to play for a very long time to come until I find a perfect substitute to take it over. I'll do this job because it's a job that someone has to do. We all have to bring a solution to our problem as a people. We have to bring much more interactive sessions amongst our people. We have to encourage each other to explore Africa. Africa is about the safest place today. Look at the number of infections in Africa, less than 1,000. How many people have died in Africa? I don't think we have up to 200 deaths as of yet. But look at America, look at China, look at Italy. They've all been down for the count. But we are out here today to discuss post-COVID-19. What are the prospects? What are the opportunities that have been opened? Because we are sure that a lot of companies that have gone down or that shut down the doors while this started might never have a reason to come up, because our lives have changed forever. How we look at situations have changed forever. How we go to school has changed forever. How we work has changed forever. Investment opportunities has equally changed forever. So we decided to create this show today to share and bring in other people's perspective to the subject of interest, which is, after Corona, how do we leverage on what we know will likely be the direction, the trajectory of the next situation? How do we leverage on that to become the major players of the next generation. It is not going to go back. We can't go back to where we were. Our lives have changed forever. So it's important we all come to that acknowledgement. But the most important thing, which is like every other sector or set of people are doing right now, people are already positioning their enterprise to hit the ground running just after coronavirus, because a whole new way of life has been created. And because of that, it is very, very important that we all key into the next direction to find out what's really new. Where is the world going? How can we now leverage on this as people of African descent in terms of what kind of skill set do we require to learn, or what kind of investment opportunities can we look out for? We've realized that everything still goes on as normal. Even though we're all stuck in the same position, we're still buying, we're still shopping, we're still getting our medication, we're still reporting, children are still reporting their jobs in school. So what are we really aware of the next set of the dynamic that's going to impact this world? How do we as a people discuss what we've had to deal with, what we have noticed to be the direction, the trajectory for life after Corona? How do we substantiate some of these issues? The World Bank has really projected that life has changed forever. How we work might never return to what it used to be. I work in the digital transformation industry. I'm an advocate for the digital transformation industry with my particular interest in Africa. I have traversed the entire African continent in the last 1 year. I have held presentations, advocacy sessions, just to educate leadership across the African continent of the need to emphasize digital transformation. Today, without missing words, a country like India has produced the first 10 CEOs of the 10 biggest digital transformation platforms. We have seen how India, without oil, rakes in up $142 billion every year from just remittances and services provided on technology. We have seen how work is done such that you make money while awake, while sleeping, and while doing some other things, you're still making money. So the world is not going to come back to what it used to be. And I can share this with anybody who cares to listen. I'm very sure that this world has changed for good. But we are here as people who must show some sense of leadership. We must show some sense of vision, because without vision, my people perish. Where is the world going post-coronavirus? Where is the world going after the lockdown? I know there are some companies that have shut down that will never open. So that's why I am putting up this show. We are going through all kinds of stress. Some people are going crazy. Partners are finding the fault in each other for getting locked down together for a long time. It's never been like this. The world has never seen what is happening. We have seen how wild animals that we had chased far into the jungle have gradually walked back to the city because human beings have taken a backseat and locked down at home. We see in Europe how mountain goats are taking over the path. Monkeys are taking over highway in India. Crocodile or amphibians are taking over part of Carolinas and the Floridas. This is basically, we can now see Himalayas from a mile, which was never possible. We hear the cloud over China. These are the signs of a whole new dynamic, a whole new beginning that is required. We're not going to sit back and let people lead us. We have to lead. I still believe that the day the black race takes over the leadership of this world, the world will see peace, because we have been the most humiliated. We know what it feels like to be humiliated. We know what it feels like to be oppressed. So I'm very sure if we as black folks, which is the next big point of development and explosion in terms of progress, industrialization, and technology, we have to take this over. So that's why we're here. I welcome everybody who's on board. I can see the Galaxy Chief is online. I can see my major contributor, Professor Okosi, is online. I can see Ninana and Mr. Bailey. I appreciate you guys coming on board. And on my Facebook Live, I see 5 folks on there. I can see Joema, that's my boy. I see Ogbayelu Umo. I appreciate you guys just stopping by. And you'll be given a chance to contribute either by typing or whatever. Ask for any questions, requests for any information you think might help us be more interactive. For those of us that are here, we have a video on. It will be nice to see each other, because this is radio you can see. I want you to see me. I want you to feel me. I want you to share in my pain and share in my joy, so we can be interactively, gainfully deliver our followers information that could help them make up their mind on where the next world is. So it's going to be an interactive session. It's going to be a very exciting session. I've done a lot of homework on this. I've seen projections from different parts of the world, what's going on, and the likelihood of happening next in terms of how we live, or how we evaluate things, how we get medication, how we even feed. A whole lot has changed. I want to believe that the coronavirus that shut down the entire China had equally exposed the entire world to over-dependency on one part of the world. I want to equally believe that the investors and the machine owners in China who are seeing their place shut down like that will look for other production hubs where they can actually deploy their factories, so that the world will never be held by this kind of situation again, should it happen again, because history always repeats itself. So I don't think this is going to be the end of it. For sure, it's obviously going to happen. Thanks, Mr. Arnold. I see Arnold right there. Thanks, my bro. I want you guys to be very interactive. For those that cannot connect them using their voice contact, I would gladly want you guys to send some information by text. Chat room is open on T25 T25CL platform. I want you guys to equally use the chat room to share information so we can actually engage each other effectively. So welcome everybody to the show. I will gladly welcome the Galaxy Zero Chief, the Chief Andre, a wonderful Afrocentric a Nigerian who happened to have lived in America for the past 2 or 3 generations. He is totally committed by providing this platform for us to continually talk to each other, interact with each other, and see how we can actually make each other better. Because an informed person makes a very smart decision. When you make a smart decision, you stand proud to defend it, because it will be a decision that is sustainable. We are going to go to the African continent. We'll come back to America. We'll go try to reach out to our friends in China, and interestingly, our Afrocentric brothers in the Carrebeans. This is the King Coco Show, and we're running on T25CL.com. This is a platform that provides video streaming, sales of African videos, and all kinds of stuff to help us still build that bond as a people. We are not here to actually stress on the problems, because this show was actually created as a platform to seek solutions. So we are consistently seek solutions that will help people of African descent, wherever they are, work together, build together. There is a very major movement going on. That's something that we're going to even talk. It requires a whole day of this show to discuss the reverse migration after 400 years of slavery. As we all know, we have 1.3 billion people in Africa alone. We have almost all the wealth of the earth now buried underground in most African countries. We know our peculiar situation when it comes to leadership. That's a subject for a whole different day. But today, we are focusing on where is the world going post COVID-19. So I welcome Chief. Chief, how are you doing? Right. Whoa. Respect my brother Chief. You are my brother from the other mom. You keep asking questions how different we are, but I still insist we're one of the same people, because Even me and my brother from the same womb that share the same boobs from my mom are pretty much different too. But so that doesn't make us too different. We have more that keeps us similar together than what makes us different. I want to equally say hi to my other consistent partner who has made a whole lot of impact in my life. This dude here has appeared on my show many times and we've made a lot of contributions that I have followed up through. And today I can count myself as one of the people that will likely benefit from the largest of the small business owners. As the president has now voted $350 billion for small business owners to tap into, just to be able to keep their doors open and keep their clients and keep their workforce intact. Mr. Professor Okosi, you want to say one or two for me? How you doing, my brother? Good to hear from you. Good to have you, my brother, anytime. I love listening to you because you're a pack of knowledge and a very humble man. Not that many of you are out there. I wish one day people like you, with the wealth of knowledge you've acquired all over the world, will be able to contribute something to our home country, Nigeria. I appreciate that. Mr. Bailey, how you doing? Mr. Bailey, are you there? How you doing? I appreciate it. Thank you, Bailey. Appreciate your contribution. We're going to have a whole lot more to keep you spellbound because that's all we want to do here. Like I said, we've created this platform to keep people of African descent, keep people talking to each other consistently. Let's grab those little rough edges that made us feel like we're so different. Because I see myself just like any other black folks anywhere. We're treated the same way. If you find yourself in China a few days ago, probably would have been hounded out of your hotel and thrown into the street for just the fact that you just have a black skin. But it's time to take that over. So let me just go to a very major contributor too, who is online. I appreciate Mr. Kweku, you've been here. Since in fact, I think you logged on before I even came on the line, and I look forward to doing a whole lot of stuff with you, my Mr. Kweku. How are you doing? Awesome, my brother. That's the ultimate we can do. As a matter of fact, for me, we are no longer talking about unity. We're talking about what is going and what's endangering us. We're talking about why we are not having a piece of the pie, which is our own entitlement. We're talking about why our brothers anywhere in the world treated as if we bring the problem to the world. We brought solution to the world. We have built great kingdoms. We have to do all this. So it's not a fault that the world has refused to give us the value we deserve. But right now, we're out to take that value that we deserve because they're not going to give us for free. So I want to just engage the chief. Chief, let me just unmute you, Chief, because we've seen how life has changed. We're still living our lives. Kids are still going to school. We're still getting medications. In fact, as a matter of fact, work is still going on as if for some countries that were able to have some tangible digital infrastructures in place, they've been able to keep going. Chief, where do you think the world is going after all this lockdown? Based on it's personal, it doesn't have to be agreeable to everybody. Whoa. What is it about it?
Breathing too hard.
Huh?
Breathing too hard.
You're breathing too heavy.
We're still alive, come on, man. Oye, mira, bro. Oye.
Whoa. Thanks, Galaxy Chief. I look forward to proudly sharing in that documentary, but I wish it's not just going to be one of those conspiracy theories again, because at least I follow a whole lot of footages on social media. I've heard how Bill Gates projected the likelihood of a virus attack and not atomic attack 5 years ago. We've found out his investments in a whole lot of pharmaceutical concern that are all behind this corona situation, or deeply involved. We found out how he's hooked up to China, supporting their effort in research in the Wuhan laboratories that ended up being what is supposed to be the source of this. I have my fears a whole lot, and we now found out that he's a direct descendant of the Rockefellers who were totally in support of the Planned Parenthood. And between me and you, I work and live in the technology industry. I live in the digital transformation space. That's what I do for African countries. Like I said, I've had a lot of leadership presentations across leadership in Africa at all levels, the legislature, the executives, just to get them to understand that the World Bank had projected that in another 15, 20 years, over 50% of global workforce will come out of Africa. Today, for your information, Africa has a median age of 18 and a half. Nigeria has a median age of 17 and a half, as a matter of fact. America has a median age of 39. Europe has a median age of 39, 40. Asia has a median age of 40, 41. The average median age of golfers are 54. So, children, babies, when they talk about population control, everybody's eye is on Africa and nowhere else. I don't blame us, because we are just very fertile bunch. I give it to us on that. And, we know how to do our thing, so you keep the kids coming. But for their focus to limit us, despite the fact that the Western world has gone into automation, it has gone into driverless cars, it has gone into AI, it has gone into robotics. These are all ways to ensure that impact of dominating that workforce will not impact them so negatively, that they might not be totally dependent on that workforce. But let me give it straight to everybody who cares to listen or who knows what's going on right now. That workforce will run the world. But my fear was, if I sit in America, getting carried away by $70 an hour job, and not just push that behind me and go back to Africa to see if I can get leadership to listen, because Africa is a leadership-driven society. If we can get Africa to listen and now start focusing their energy in emerging skill sets. I'm talking about agile frameworks. I'm talking about Salesforce. I'm talking about data analytics. I'm talking about cybersecurity. I'm talking about coding and programming. which is where most of the hands-on will be needed to support the digital industry. We're all aware that 4 years college degree is no longer sustainable to provide workforce to support the digital transformation era. So we're not going to sit back and this thing not going to happen by chance. India 15, 20 years ago leaped on the train of outsourcing due to drive by capitalism in America. And that's how they were not aware to look at people into the future to see that software was going to take over the entire dynamics of human endeavor. And by that, they started pushing their own into software development by programming and coding. And that's how they now do $140 billion in remittances. That's how America has been bought over by young Indians who just came here with a backpack on their back, earning $120 a year, $100, $200, $200 million, $200,000 a year. They've been able to get together all these small motels, all the local gas stations have been bought over. Some of us don't even notice that. So I have seen how the Indian system has gradually slipped into America. I work with a bunch of Indians. I don't want to mention the company I work for, but I'm going to share my experiences on this platform. What happened? I was engaged as an agile transformation coach. My job is to evaluate the work process, the entire period, the entire work cycle, workflow of the entire organization, and look at where we can make improvement. And apparently, I saw where we could make improvement. I identified what was slowing down the company to transform to an agile organization. But what happened? I had Indians as my boss. I had Indians as my consulting company. I had Indians as my HR. Every attempt I made to identify why we need to transform from how we were doing things, how we were working, how we were delivering software, to how we should be delivering software, costed me a job after that project. Which is why I said I have to go back to Africa and take this knowledge that I've done, because it's an honor and a privilege to even identify and know what these guys think, how they've been able to take over the entire world. Let me go share this knowledge with my people. It's taken me 2 years so far, but to God be the glory, we're making very tangible progress. I'm now invited to speak on multiple forums for leadership, and leadership is gradually going to listen. And I'm sure the corona situation has even brought this to bear more strongly. The only thing that survived during corona is technology, which is what we're doing here. We don't need to move from our houses. The only way we've been able to sustain our life, to how to buy our food, medication, our kids are going to school, is technology. The African continent is left behind because they're sitting at home is total shutdown of the government. They're sitting at home is total shutdown of the education system. They're sitting at home, you only rely on your neighbor to have what you can buy. You cannot go on the internet and easily find stuff you want to buy. Which brings me to another opportunity that my brother here, Kosi, had shared with me over 1 year ago. We've been trying to get the Nigerian or the African to see the need to invest in digital infrastructure for them to be able to use it to leverage and make money before, during, and after. So these are all issues that I've identified. That's what formed the basis of this discussion today. So I thank you, my brother, for that. I want to bring in Okosi. Let him just throw an insight into what he thinks is the next direction of issues that will likely impact us, and why and how we could position ourselves to take advantage of that. Mr. Okosi, are you there? circulated. Mhm. You know, everything is possible, man, you know? Yo, Professor, thank you very much. Your information has always been very, very exciting to be part of, and I totally agree with you on everything you just said. We have actually, hold on, we have actually identified the fact that it is us that will agree to where the world wants to put us. We have identified the fact that the world will move on without Africa. We have identified the fact that even black folks that live in America are not even aware of where the world is going. I have been working within the digital transformation space, and I can tell you how many black folks I see in my work environment. If we find 5 out of 200 workers, 2 or 3 or 2 are Nigerians, one is from the Caribbeans, one is from Africa, one is from another African country, and probably one is from America. With these numbers in place, we cannot challenge the system. And like I said, the projection is that in another 50 to 20 years, more than 50% of workforce has to come from Africa, which drove my interest in going back to Africa to drive the advocacy and awareness campaign for digital transformation adoption. I can tell you, which is what I just posted on the chat forum, the only thing that has not been disrupted by COVID-19 is technology, which is why we're still communicating today, which is why governments are still running that had the digital infrastructures in place. My focus is that. The key area for us as a people to look at, I already seen the projections on technology before Corona came. We know the demand that digital transformation needed in terms of workforce, in terms of training, in terms of investment. Those opportunities are even more lucrative today post-Corona. So I'm not going to talk in area that I might not really have strength on. I'm not going to talk about the churches that we've not seen one pastor step out to say, bring me all the Corona victims. Let me heal them right here and let them all go to heaven. We've not seen that because it's not possible. We know how we've all been taken for a ride when it comes to religion. The religion we're even talking about is not our own religion. So let's streamline this in line with their discussion, Professor, which is technology seems to hold it strong. Technology seems to even provide the leverage for even survive and still have some level of decency in our lives. I think technology is where the world is driving at. We can see that Forbes' first 10 richest folks on earth are all digital investors, entrepreneurs. And for some strange reason, most of them are collaborating with each other to further strangle the hold on the entire global population. And they are barely 1.05% of the global population. It is very scary because when you see people start talking about the possibility of a conspiracy among these people, why are the high digital big-time billionaires all investing in areas of pharmaceutical, all investing in these particular areas? So there's no smoke without fire. If you don't step up and make people know you know what's going down, then you'll be down for the count before they even start their race. So that's why we're talking about here. Let's call a spade a spade. The little we know that chloroquine was initially 4 weeks ago, projected by the President of America after the stories of chloroquine being used all over the world as a very effective tool. But the left-wing media or the right-wing media jumped on him. This media is being controlled by the same billionaires. These social media platforms are controlled by the same billionaires because most of them have interest in building the vaccine. We are hearing Bill Gates even saying that the world will never get together until the whole world takes vaccines. What's this all about? There's something not right. So whether we want to accept it or look at it directly or not, that's fine, but the fact remains that there is some level of conspiracy going on. And whether we accept the fact that this conspiracy is for real, is only for us to be waiting to accept to be part of the statistics. But all we have to do is pull ourselves together, bring our families together, bring our young ones who are still aspiring to get some learning together, and let's share the knowledge of where is the next set of jobs that are going to be created. What kind of jobs are about to be created? What are the kind of investment opportunities in the digital space where we can all have a piece? I can tell anybody right now who cares to listen. If you don't have a piece of the digital infrastructure in another 3 years, forget the land you own. Oil is going out of fashion because by the time they deploy all the technology and talking about automation and all kinds of reducing the dependency on oil, the value of oil will be as good as nothing. And it's just down that a bunch of African countries are down developing their oil. So the white folks are aware because they have a whole lot of money for research and development. They've invested tons of money in this stuff and they're just waiting by the corner for it to turn, for them to take another 12 leap ahead of us. So it brings us to the fact that I'm strongly aware of where the impact is strong. The only aspect of our lives that Corona couldn't hold down was technology, the digital technology. So if we step up now and say, okay, let us focus our young generation on these areas that we've identified. Let's put effort to train people in these areas. These are all jobs I talk about 50 minimum of $50 an hour jobs. How many of us that have a college degree has a $50 an hour job? Hell no. The average salary in America is $39,000. But the average salary within the digital transformation workspace is $89,000 to $100,000. So you see a bunch of Indians coming to your country, and now one person earns the money that three of you will earn, killing yourself on a lousy job. So why can't we drive our people into the right opportunities? Why can't we educate them on where the next set of good jobs are coming from? Why can't we now take this idea to African leadership and say, listen, you can do all you want, you can explore all you want, but let's give the next generation a seat at the table, because I'm going to share this with you guys. If you don't have this training in Africa and get that workforce ready to benefit from the Western world for all the views that people are grandparents and great-grandparents for, then we will have disappointed the next generation all over. So I totally agree with you, Mr. Kosi, because technology becomes and remains a particular area of interest for me. So I want to hear from Kweku on what he feels, what does he see from his own neck of the wood.
Well, the Prime Minister's fiance, Carrebeans, who's expecting their baby in early summer, said the last week had understandably been dark, and she said that she never felt like she would be able to repay the debt she owed to the health service.
I think we had this discussion briefly the other time we were on another show on the same platform. Everything that has a good side has some bad sides. At the end of the day, we always weigh the pros and the cons, and that becomes the basis for adoption. A lot of research on the 5G technology, and I've heard all kinds of permutations surrounding the 5G and the COVID situation and what it does. I totally don't subscribe to it, but that does not mean that I'm speaking as someone who has a deep knowledge of the implication. I know that 5G might not be too different from 4G. 5G is just a technology, a bandwidth situation which was required to help actualize the dream of keeping Africans from taking over the workforce. Automation, driverless cars, quick convergence, and all that. The industrial Internet of Things, IIoT. That is why 5G was really being driven, because 5G comes with the speed of almost 20 times the speed of 4G. 5G comes with multiple sensors and hardwares being placed between to synchronize data much faster. When two computers are communicating, data comes in packets from the communicating computer to the communicated computer. And as it gets to the other computer, it gets assembled to become the full meaning of what was sent from the sender. So what 5G does is that it helps that to happen 20 times faster. I must confide in you, when you will not hear stories of automated cars crashing or driverless cars killing people like before, because of the speed of resolving signals, communication between the sender, the sensor, and everything. So that's basically what I see on 5G. But the 5G will not kill only black folks. It will kill everybody. And if the people that own the system are bent on doing it for their personal benefit, as a capitalist enclave, me and you might not have that strength. But good luck, luckily, to social media and the globalization of how we live, it's easy now to energize the entire world to speak in one direction and make change happen. But I don't want us to kill ourselves and keep away from being part of the players on the 5G network and the platforms, because we're really trying to abuse our mind that is going to wipe everybody. It's going to wipe everybody. It's going to wipe the whole world out. So that's my take on that. I don't know if that makes any sense from you, Mr. Kweko. Fundamentally, necessity is the mother of invention, and we all agree to that fact. So what's going to happen is going to happen. I don't want us to focus. This is how they distract us. They make you think, whoa, you're on the wrongest part of the road. Meanwhile, everybody's on the wrong side of the road. So let us all be ahead. If we are all benefiting, let's benefit. When the pain comes, I'm sure the need to reduce the impact on health, on mental situation, on environment, will obviously bring the creation of another solution that might be less harmful. But beating ourselves up on this particular subject matter, I don't want to focus on that because it's just the way how we get distracted, So I totally understand what you're talking about. But once again, necessity is going to make them work harder. The technology space is never sleeping. The next thing that will coming after 5G is already in the making. That's one thing I can tell you. So let us focus on how we can be on the table of sharing the benefit, the revenue of over $30 trillion that's coming on our 15 years from science and tech, from digital transformation, and not kill ourselves, driving ourselves away from being part of the beneficiaries of that project. So for me, that's what I think. And you were talking about, Chicago professor was talking about the investment opportunities. You see, just like people invested on roads, people took over bridges. Those are all managed by corporate organizations because of the awareness at that time. This time around, a couple of us are equally aware of where the next digital infrastructure needs to be deployed, especially in Africa. America has done a lot. The Western world has done a lot. They need support and to maintain the integrity of their network or software. But Africa is still a virgin land. But the PCCS, the post-colonial consumer syndrome, which we all deal with being black folks who doesn't believe in ourselves, but rather believe that white is better, will rather give the white folks a chance to come and sell them an obsolete technology, or the Indian come and sell them what do you call it, a basic technology against some black folks that have developed technology that could change the world and bring the world to Africa to learn. So that's why some of us that are known to be out here, to be speaking with the white folks as much as what we can speak as the white folks if you want to speak. I've decided it's okay, let us drop what we do. We are still going to make money at the end of the day. It might not just be right now, but let us find a way to get as much as African leadership on the table so that they can actually transfer this leadership, this knowledge, awareness in terms of training, development and deploying of these digital platforms for their people to benefit from. So that's why we're here. So I thank everybody. We're still on T25CL.com. We're on King Coco radio show. We've been off the air for the past 7-8 months, but I promise everybody, because of popular demand, we'll keep this show on wherever I go. As far as it's all about the internet, we'll make sure that we keep this show every Sunday to educate our brothers, bring our brothers together to talk as we're talking, deliberate, and equally contribute and see how we can chart a common cause and take this information across the entire continent and wherever people of African descent are, so that we can equally take a rightful place. I always said in most of my shows, Nigeria has to show leadership. That's my own country. Until Nigeria shows leadership, Africa will not get going, because Nigeria acts as a senior brother in Africa. But we know a peculiar situation, and thank God for technology, social media, the globalization of the small space we all live in. Very soon, no leadership in any part of Africa will be able to do the things they've been doing the past years. Because it's easy to pull people together using social media infrastructure and get them out there to do the right thing. So thank you very much, guys, again. I have a guest that just joined us. I probably want to give him or her a chance to really say a word or two. Are you okay? You want to say something on the show, sir? And what's your name, sir? Whoa. Oh, awesome. Space Boy. Pretty much, I appreciate you keeping us on air and keeping the platform running while some of us took a leap of faith into a whole different trajectory. But we're all doing the same thing. We're all trying to make sure that we get everybody together. We gray out those areas that kept us away from each other, and continuously make sure that we keep each other engaged. Because I realize communication, as a matter of fact, this is something I always like to share with people. Lately, we realize that communication is even more important than having a major skill set. Because you can be one of the best in what you do, but you don't know how to communicate it out there, and nobody gets the benefit out of it. So it's important we emphasize on communicating and collaboration with each other. If you guys understand a whole new framework, I want you guys to write this down. Agile frameworks. This is a whole new framework that people in the developed world are making so much money. Indians are making average of $70 an hour as agile consultants. And that's how they're leaking America out of all its resources, because they refuse to train people to be able to come in and do the same jobs. But I'm not trying to be a Trump guy here, because I'm not really, even though he has his own good sides and his own bad sides. But Trump came in and shut down the HB1 visa that Indians used to proliferate all people into this country. And so then let me even say what Indians were doing that a lot of Americans doesn't know. I opened up opportunity that could have become a congressional hearing opportunity while working with one of these Fortune 500 companies in this country. You have almost 60% Indians running most of their projects in these places. But those guys are gaming the system big time, because gradually they've brought their brothers to be the consultant, to run the HR department, and they're already talking at the executive level in the organization. So they run the show. They can afford to put 10 men to do the job 2 men will do. I sit in an office, and you see an Indian guy who's supposed to be a programmer sitting on his own laptop, but you see the cursor running all over the place, because without him doing anything, which means they are able to actually use the software to hand over the screen to one of their brothers somewhere else who knows what they're doing to do the job they're supposed to do. We wouldn't do that. We would be scared to do it. We wouldn't trust each other to do that. But that's what these folks are doing. And gradually they've taken over the entire place. So when I found out the level of gaming that the consulting companies were doing in collaboration with their brothers within the system, putting Indians in India to work on most projects and paying them almost the same amount of money that they would have paid Americans, which they refused to train. This, as a matter of fact, this has not to do with just blacks. This one is both blacks and whites, because you find all the white folk keeping having reddish faces around the workplace because they've been humiliated big time by the Indians, because nobody's training nobody in America. So the good thing about this digital transformation era, with the post-corona era, is going to emphasize more More jobs are being created in that field because more digital infrastructure platform has to be created. More selling platforms has to be created. More digital television platforms has to be created. And we can see how most regular TV has shut down. So everybody has gone home. Everybody is now transmitting from home, which is basically digital. So it's important we wake up to this reality early enough so we can take this information across board back home. And now educate our folks to know that the world is moving in this direction. I'll be glad to share off screen where the skill sets are in demand. The big Ivy League schools, the Princetons, the Yale, are now focusing on these digital skill sets for their people because they realize that more people are in demand of these certifications. And one good thing for Africa out of this is something I want to share with everybody now. One good thing for Africa is because they trash our certificates. Our degrees are considered trash, which is not really so. Because our school in Africa, I know what it took us to have a degree then. But today, because of globalization and the need for faster pace of producing workforce for the digital era, the world is now focused on certifications. Nobody's crazy about a 4-year professional degree in engineering because half of engineering jobs will not be there in another 5 years or 10 years. Nobody's really crazy about doing a whole lot of stuff on accounting because 3/4 of accounting will be automated. All you need to feed in the numbers and you have your feedback and walk away. So it's important that we all as a people understand the dynamic that is going on right now, that the world is no longer waiting for us. They never waited for us. They pray we always play catch up. So now what we here have to do is where and what are the emerging skills that we have to teach our young people. Some of us at our age are still very viable because there is what they call emotional intelligence in workplace today. This was never there before, which is the ability to manage the emotions of people you work with and your own to make sure that people are constantly productive. We are now being needed. That age is no longer an issue in this era of employment. And I want to emphasize also to all of us to understand, when our parents were growing up, some stayed on one job for 40 years. This generation, people barely keep one job for 5 years. The next generation is a whole different dynamics already happening. One person is going to work for 3 different organizations at the same time because most of the jobs have gone remote. I know of my friends, Africans, who came here, acquired this skill set, and today has 3 different laptops from different companies on their living room, earning the same amount of money from each of them. That is what we want to do. So we want to globalize the certification because this certification, no matter where you come from, no matter what degree you hold, puts everybody on the same level. If I drop an Agile certification or a Salesforce certification on the table, and an Indian drops the same certification, a Chinese guy drops the same certification, nobody's going to say he's better than me or that my own is fake because we all had it from the same examination platform. So that's the knowledge you want us to wake up today and go back with at the end of the show. So I want us to be a little more interactive. Mr. Bailey, I want to hear from you a little bit on, you've been on us for a little. Okay. Yeah, right here. I know my internet connection went down a little bit, but we're back up. I'm here. I'm hearing you. Are you there? Go ahead. I'm hearing you. No, that's fine. Whoa, that's a great direction, man. I appreciate what you're doing. I think you jumping on the same information that I jumped on about 18 months ago through Professor Okosi. And I can tell you that I've not had any reason to regret. I may want to share that with the house today again. In one of my shows, we had Professor Okosi come in and tell and inform us on the need to jump on providing services to the state, local, and the national government. And we all went, he gave us the process we had to do, and we did all that. And today I received bids for different projects of interest, which we equally bid on all these opportunities. So I think that's something we need to do collectively. If we can't even do it individually, let's get one or two people on board. Let's collaborate with each other and see how we can help each other access this opportunity. Professor Coase, you want to add something to that? Okay. Yes. Chief, you want to take something? You want to say something about that? Okay, good, Chief. That's fine. That's fine. I'll throw some light on what we're talking about because we're almost running out of time. You're actually listening to One on One with King Coco, the show that plans to bring increased collaboration, interaction, and graying out rough edges on why all black folks should actually work together. My brother, the last commentator, was just saying on the need to access black Americans much more because for some strange reason, I know that the few black American friends that I've gotten closely, I have personally built those relationships. I've insisted on calling them, even when sometimes they sound like you're balking them initially. But over time, they've come to appreciate the fact that that we are still brothers. We can have maintained very close relationship, and now start talking and thinking about doing one business or the other. So it's really difficult starting up a relationship with especially a male guy. And in terms of female, there's always opportunity to have a reason to interact with a female. A female has a reason to interact with the male. But it's been difficult getting our black brothers to sit together and start sharing this knowledge we have, because when we come here, we are here on a mission. We are not here on vacation. Any African that has to go through the Atlantic or do a 12-hour flight is here on a purpose. And we're here to ensure that the investment, the sweat equity our ancestors did put behind to make this the greatest country in the world, that we tap into that. So they're not going to scare us, because we know that if we don't do that, the black folks can never tap enough, because they've been broken for years of oppression and having to grow from family structure that is totally disintegrated deliberately by the system. Some of them don't even have the capacity to compete. But we're landing here with that fresh energy, without the fear of a white guy, because we never see them as anything better. Always with so much energy to do it. How can we build a better relationship with the black American man? Whoa. That's why, thank you, Chief. That's why we're all talking about what is going to happen post-colonial coronavirus. Because I totally agree with Chief that we're making progress, but we need to ramp it up. The speed must be at its maximum because the world has moved on. A whole new generation of billionaires are being created within the digital technology space. The world is not waiting for us. Our brothers in America are not showing up at the table. Sometimes it's even more important to show up at the table than even have what the table needs. Because if they look around for your own people and they can't find anything better than you, they're compelled to train you. So it's important we get this mindset all changed because the old mindset is not going to take us anywhere. It's taking us nowhere. It only kept us apart, kept us broke, kept us homeless, and live us within the space of selling weed and struggling with show business or hip hop, rap, and all that stuff. All of us are not lucky to be smart at being rappers. All of us can't handle the pressure of being dope sellers. So we need to encourage kids. It's not just about talent now. It's about grooming. It's about the right information. It's about having the right resource people to speak at the right forums. Which forum do we need to get engaged in? Effect on helping our brothers understand we're only complementing their effort. No plane hit each other in the sky. The sky is big enough for every plane, every pilot to fly. So the fear or the fact that I'm going to take your piece shouldn't even be on the table. They made you think like that so you could see me as their competitor. I'd rather compete with the white folks because they're people that are holding the main cheese, not my brothers. Let's compete with those that we feel now even the new color is different. The Indians are now considered as part of the colored people. And they have 10 people to every one real black guy on the table when it comes to technology. How do you compete with 10 people who only speak their language themselves? You go to the workplace, they won't speak English with you because they want to make sure that you feel uncomfortable. So the odds against us is enormous. Those of us that own churches, those of us that go to churches, those of us that are elders in churches, if we have to do this in churches, let's go do it there. The pastors are not telling young people the truth. Because no matter how long you kneel down on the hard floor to pray, if you don't complement that with solid skill acquisition and training, it's going to be hard to compete. Miracles happen once in a million. And we are over 200 million. So are you talking about 200 people getting successful out of 200 million? No. So we have to get this stuff right. We have to think back. The mindset has to be right. The trajectory has to be all accommodating. We have to stay competitive. I want to give everybody one minute shot to just throw a word in on there because I had a 1 hour 30-minute show. I don't intend to exceed that by even an extra minute. So, Kweku, you want to just throw your last word for the day? Hello? Is Kweku there? Okay, cool. Awesome. My guys, I'm going to give everybody a 1 minute shot to probably say something before we go. Can I have a take on what is the takeaway for today? Awesome. Thank you very much, my brother. I appreciate your contribution, and I want to quickly throw this out there for my brothers who are on the show today. I remain a very valuable source of information when it comes to digital transformation. I am an agile transformation coach and equally a Salesforce administrator. There are so many solutions out there that can be configured to deliver more value than go to look for someone to develop a software for you. Though the whole idea of chasing someone to develop a software for you is the thing of the past, is what they call software as a service. I'm glad to speak on any forum that you think requires me contributing to our people and this generation to see the light of the day. So see me as that guy that you can find a lot of solutions when it comes to technology, and my advice will always be genuine and highly revenue oriented. Mr. Bailey, I want to hear from you before we shut this show down. What do you think about our show today, and what can we just take away from this? Right. Whoa. Thank you very much, Mr. Bailey. Much more, and we make ourselves available as much as required to all our brothers. Let's just keep together and see how much we can build a bond that they can hardly break. Chief Okosi, you want to just take a last minute before we get out of here, bro? Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Kosi. I appreciate you straight up saying something right up there. I want all of us to realize that we're not just here to talk. We're here to get things done. And we trust each other enough to share investment opportunity, investment information. That is key. The Amazon, the Walmart, and the Krogers are all delivering from here. Africa is virgin land, an opportunity to make a killing out of it. So let's look at these opportunities. Let's talk to our friends who are looking for a way to put that IRA, that retirement benefit. Let's put that money. You can never go wrong with a digital investment right now. Chief, we're about to get out here, Chief. I'd love to take you home, man. Take us home, bro. Oh. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Chief. Guys, I appreciate your time. You're still on one-on-one with King Coco. We're running on www.t25cl.com. Galaxy Talk Radio is a 24/7 radio and streaming platform. We have a whole lot of content to buy music artists. We host a lot of artists on that platform, so you can download both American and African genre of songs. We encourage everybody to try and invite one or two more people to our panel. Our panel was pretty rich today. I thank everybody, Kweku, Chief, Mr. Bali, Okosi, and Spaceboy. Spaceboy, let's have a private chat because I think there's something Salesforce can do to this platform, because we can actually create a marketing or sales campaign to drive more people on this platform. Back to Okosi, we need to invest in Africa as a virgin land. Let the white folks not come down and deploy all these capabilities and work on with the money. I thank everybody for being part of this show. My name is Atai Albert Akpan. I love the day I came up with this opportunity, and I keep it going as long as I can breathe. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful Sunday. Goodbye. Peace, bro. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for hanging out there. Lawi, I see you with tenacious to be staying all day. I thank you guys so much. And we're going to keep this running every Sunday, same time, same place. Wherever I am on earth, I'll endeavor to make sure this show goes on. We'll bring a whole different perspective. We'll seek you guys to give us the right ideas, to be able to capture the minds of our people. We are in very trying times. Let this trying time not wipe us out, because we need to be smart and live smart, and make sure that by the time this is over, we hit the ground running. So guys, thank you guys. Facebook Live with me. I look forward to seeing you guys any other time and back on this trail. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Bye.